Hey, what's up guys? Brian with HappyThumbsGaming here, and we are back with more LEGO DC Supervillains. This happens to be level 3 Stars in Your Eyes story. No collectibles found in this, however we do get the trophy achievement for completing the level called Treadmill, Turbulence, and a gold brick as well. And early access provided by WB, so thanks to that. Let's go ahead and jump right into a cutscene and keep on keeping on.
Almost there. The Hall of Doom, home of the Legion of Doom.
Hello, fellow feline. Who's this?
Some friend of Lex's. They don't say much.
Cat got their tongue, huh?
Come on! We have important decisions to make!
Lex is gone for what? A few weeks and this whole place goes to the dogs?
We're perfectly capable of making decisions without Lex Loser. Now, I suggest we're...
So we're just letting any fool with a costume into the hall now?
Well, we let you in, Heatwave. Besides, Rookie is the real deal. With the Justice Syndicate throwing their weight around, the more of us, the better.
I just escaped from that feathered fool Owlman, but he sure didn't act like much of a hero.
Yeah, they trashed my lair. They broke all my henchmen.
They interrupted my evil monologue. It was a really good monologue.
Interesting. So, if they're not the good guys they say they are, we can use that.
Exposing anything crooked about their true nature would certainly get them off our backs.
And allow us to go about our business, unchallenged.
Without proof, though.
Yes, without proof.
Harley Quinn said she saw something strange back when Luthor broke out of Strikers.
But Harley's still missing.
Did you see anything?
What about this other Earth they came to?
Earth 3.
Can we go there and dig around?
That makes sense.
But how do we get there? My erstwhile nemesis, the Flash, had access to the cosmic treadmill at S.T.A.R. Labs. I can use it to get to Earth 3. I'd be there and back before you know it.
All right, but take Heatwave, Captain Cold, Merlin, and Chatterbox here. While you're doing that, I'll try and track down Harley Quinn.
Huh? Time to turn the heat up on Metropolis. Let's head to the cable car station.
I don't think they'll let us ride on the cable cars anymore. Not after last time.
Who cares about what they think? We'll still use it to get across. Merlin, you coming or are you babysitting the newbie?
Try and stay out of trouble, you two. We've got a job to do, remember?
Hey. Just because I don't say much doesn't mean you get to call me a newbie. Or maybe it does, because I don't get to defend myself. Anyhow, we've got quite possibly the longest ghost stud trail ever to follow here. Look at that, 224 measurements. I'm not sure if that's meters, feet, stutters. You know, I don't know what they're measuring in, but that being said, we've got a long trail to follow. And then once we get towards the end, I make one of the most random mistakes of all time to go with the longest trip of all time. So it's kind of a nice pairing here. But as it turns out, yes, there's abilities available to drop vehicles. Of course, I was not aware that I had this ability till I get all the way up top, and I'm not sure my vehicles would have helped me a whole lot down here in the swamp. And I keep waiting for Shrek to yell at me and say, "What are you doing in my swamp?" But so far, so good. And oh, look at this. Our smartphone is indeed smart, letting us know that we can pull up our character selection grid and toggle over to the vehicle grid, which for us was going to be the square button. For you Xboxers, it'll probably be that X. And for the Switchers, I still haven't figured that out. I'm sorry. Moving along, though, we do have a nice 4x4, and you can kind of spin it around so it's actually going the right direction. It just takes me a hot second to figure out the buttons. I drop it like it's hot, and then I go ahead and hop on in, and then our journey becomes a lot faster. Still a long ways, but not quite as long. And this driving is just crazy. I gotta be honest, I still haven't quite mastered it yet. I am getting it figured out, though. As you can see, I'm not bouncing off every light pole from, you know, I was like a ping pong ball getting bounced back and forth across the table there for the first couple driving sessions. But those numbers are getting smaller. We're into double digits now, and getting smaller, getting smaller. Now, we're not quite there yet, but we get this big trolley or a tram that we have to ride. But first, we're actually going to queue up one of the map points. So I'm sure this is most likely a challenge to go ahead and complete all of the map points. And look at that. There is quite a few collectibles scattered throughout this area, but my goodness, there's not very many, and they're really scattered. So I'm hoping that that was actual area-specific challenges, so like when we come back and do free roam, that we could just target that as kind of our base camp, and then we can follow that and get all of the collectibles for that. So then we know like what we had to start with and what we had to finish. And look at me, I'm like, which way do I go? Which way do I go? The studs led me down to the bottom, but then they stopped. As it turns out, it was right above me. This will likely happen to you too, so find your way down and around, get to the stairway, and up we go. Once we get all the way to the top, though, we've got this little dude who, he's needing some help with something. It's basically an attitude adjustment, is what I'm seeing here. So we'll go ahead and do a quick slam, rebuild the bricks that we find, and as you might have guessed, it is, yes, a little spot to stand on, which we can go ahead and turn on the power. So look at this. We got a little sharpshooter here. It's pretty sweet. Like, before we saw things like this with Captain America's shield. So far, we've seen Deadshot, sorry. And now we've got, what's this guy's name? Marvin? Merlin? It starts with an M, whatever it is. And we go ahead and we hop on the old tram. Now, this is where the brain fart of the century happens. It was really just a mishap, and it's kind of the game's fault. At least I'm going to point the finger at it. As it turns out, once you get to the very top of the tram, it automatically gets you off. And so you hop out and you start walking. Now, I wanted to use my custom character who happened to be standing at the top of the tram. And at one point, it actually tells me, hit triangle. Well, it's telling me to hit triangle to ride this back down, but the way the angle is, it kind of seems like it's suggesting I switch characters. So here we go. He's going to force himself out right here. Oh, yeah, here we go. And ready. There's a triangle. I hit it. Oh, look at that stellar jump. Now, it did take me forever to ride all the way back down and up, but I went ahead and just had a hard edit there to save us all the time. In fact, I didn't even fade it, so take that. But we'll go ahead and ready to move on now. We're back to double digits as far as our compass and where we need to be. But I assure you, once we get to the end here, this is actually going to allow us to continue the story. So all of our free roam madness in between the levels is officially over, well, once we get there. And we'll be able to start in with the actual level, Stars in Your Eyes. Now, when I see stars, I don't know about you guys, but I automatically think of Raccoon City. That made me think, too, how stinking cool would that be to have a Resident Evil Lego experience? And I don't know about you guys, but I would be okay with, like, little mini packs where, like, kind of like the DLC packs for Lego Dimensions, where it's not huge, but it's there. It exists, But anyhow, into the Halo we go, and the cutscenes begin. Oh,
yeah. I want to contact Batgirl for an interview.
Hey, Lois?
Owlman stopped the Joker when she and Nightwing couldn't, yet we still know practically nothing about him. Getting the lowdown on him and the Syndicate from a regular hero like Batgirl would be a real scoop. Where is it? Ah, gotcha. I knew I had her number here somewhere. Hello, Batgirl? Who? Barbara Gordon? I'm sorry, Barbara. I must have dialed the wrong number. Back to the drawing board, Jimmy.
Shh.
There's the cosmic treadmill. What's left of it?
Looks like someone wrecked it on purpose. Someone who knew about the Speed Force.
Maybe it's that new guy in town, Johnny Quick.
You think this Justice Syndicate doesn't want anyone checking up on him?
All the more reason for you to get to Earth 3 and see.
Yeah, but just be quick.
Okay, Thawne, you're the so-called expert here. What do we need to do to fix this cosmic treadmill?
Well, despite your pathetic attempt at flattery, I'd say that computer terminal over there is our best bet.
Shame it's a little out of our reach at the moment.
But not for long. All right, as we gain control of our villains, we're going to go ahead and smash everything in sight. Now, as it turns out, there is a sonar door right there, and I was kind of unaware that Buddy that I've got now with these arrows has explodey arrows. To be honest with you, I thought I was going to have to use one of my other characters or simply find something else in the area to make this work because I didn't realize. So here in a second, it actually tells me Johnny pops up, or sorry, Johnny DC pops up and lets me know that I do, in fact, have the right character and ability. I'm just not using him. So after I basically go through every single character we have, yeah, it kind of gives me this nice cinematic moment here where it's like, hey, look at this door. This is what you need to do. But I haven't figured it out. So I go ahead and take the hint. And, oh, right. So, yeah, there we go. We've got some explodey arrows. So now I know. And no one's half the battle. G.I. Joe. Anybody remember that? That really dates me back there. But that was actually kind of cool. They had those, like, after-school special moments at the end of the G.I. Joe episodes. Kind of a learning environment. I don't know why they don't do that anymore. Like, maybe they do on some cartoons. I don't, full disclosure, I don't watch a lot of cartoons these days. But all right, so we've got this crazy kind of like grid-like robot. Really, it's just a crane system. As you can see, we've made our way all the way up, and we've grappled a big box worth of stuffs. And now we're coming back, and we're trying to make our way out of here, but I wasn't really sure what's going on. As it turns out, there are 2 purple blockers, and then there's also a purple button. So that's where I got a little confused. It should have been different color up top there. I don't know why they all had to be purple. But eventually, I bounce off everything, and we have our escape route. So we'll go ahead and drop it all the way down, and, ooh, see you later. Where did it go? I'm not even sure, though. Oh, wait, it pops up right here. That's right. All right, so that's a weird transport system there. I guess, you know, moving a box 7 feet was... it was a requirement to go under. Anyhow, it did give us the ability to build up this crazy robotic ladder, so go Gadget. That's crazy. Like, I've never seen a ladder do that before. I've seen step ladders and all sorts of different apparatuses that get you up higher, but that was a crazy scissor ladder. Now, up top, we've got this switch, and as it turns out, there's a switch across this gap, and we can use somebody like the Reverse Flash to hover or jump across a large gap. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. Now, we actually need to flip both switches at the same time, which it actually indicates. There's one of the characters actually says, it looks like we need to push both of them at the same time. I didn't realize that they reset. So I flipped that switch and thought my job had been done, but as it turns out, that is not the case. So it resets. I realize that. I go ahead and flip it. I toggle over to another character. Flash falls down below. I get that switch flipped in time, and guess what? It connects the connection, and woo to the who. We've got a bridge now, so we'll be able to make our way across with somebody with the gold melting ability. And we know who that is. We've got actually a couple of them at the moment. So either use your custom character or this guy right here, as he does have, what's his name, Heatwave or something? See, I don't know a lot of these characters. Just like in the last Marvel game, there are so many, well, even the Lego Incredibles, so many characters that I didn't know. Now, that's one of the things that's like a requirement for Lego games, right, is having a solid enough cast to fill the character selection grid. Now, in a lot of these last few games, they've filled the grid with kind of unknowns. I mean, let's be honest, there are definitely DC and Marvel fans out there, even Incredibles fans out there, that actually had a lot more insight and knowledge on the characters that were available than I did. Like, I'm not trying to say that, like, I know everything and nobody knows anything. But what I am saying is that a lot of people, the majority of players, probably are not aware of, I would say 60 to 80% of the cast that we've been seeing in these last few games. So something like a Resident Evil or even a Hanna-Barbera, you know, world, that would be great because there's lots of characters that are known, but there's also lots of unknowns that would be kind of fun and like a learning experience. So just something to think about, you know, even the Resident Evil stuff, like that would be killer, seeing all the different types of, you know, the experiments, if you will. Speaking of experiments, we've got this color pattern here. We've seen things like this before, but this one's a little bit different. Essentially, we need to step on these pressure-sensitive switches enough times until their inner ring matches their, well, I guess the ring in the back there is the best way to do it. Sometimes it works out where they both are the same color, like the red and red. But, yeah, so you can see in the back, you got blue and purple, green and red, and then, of course, yellow up top in the middle. Match those up, and it should go ahead and remove that laser beam and give us a little bit more access. We still got some fires we need to put out, but we've got a guy, Captain Cold, who can handle that quite nicely. So, all right, out like trout. And in we go. So this actually threw me for a little bit of a loop, and there is an edit coming up after the next cutscene. So basically what we do here is we get inside and we kind of hack this computer. It doesn't take much. You just literally have to pull up the button, hit it, and it does all these repairs. These drones come in, and all of a sudden we've got ourselves a cosmic treadmill. So Reverse Flash hops up. We go ahead and hop on, complete our dat meter, and into a cutscene we go. Ain't nothing faster than Pune. Pune.
I think that's our cue to get out of here.
What about the speedster?
Hey, I told him to be quick.
This way!
This gets out, I'll never live it down.
Ah! Mirror Master? What are you and Killer Frost doing here?
Hey, what is this? Snow cone convention?
Kid Flash!
Such a frosty reception. What are you up to? Let me guess. Destruction of property with a dash of theft?
Actually, we needed to use the cosmic... Ow!
We need to keep him busy until Reverse Flash gets back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one mere boy is no match for all of us.
Maybe not, but a couple of Teen Titans might even things up. You guys gotta learn not to take stuff that isn't yours.
Oh, and who saw this coming? I know that I had some conversations with a few of you on social media about some characters that I didn't really want to spoil anything for, but I gave some hints. I think it was Simon and I were talking, and I was like, oh, I don't really want to spoil it for you, but think DC and TV. And then I said, oh, I said too much. But yes, we get a little guest appearance, at least for now, from the Teen Titans. We got Beast Boy and Raven also is here. So I'm curious to see who else pops in throughout. Kind of got me thinking now. There's lots of possibilities. And, you know, I was talking about cast and you know, old members, new members, things like that. Now, I wonder if we're going to see some, like, old school Batman stuff again. You know, like the 60s show. I know we kind of covered a lot of that in Lego Batman 3. However, I mean, that would have been pretty sweet had we revisited some of that. New and old, right? I mean, there's the Teen Titans, and then there's the Teen Titans Go, right? Like, I'm definitely not well-versed in those guys either. Like, I've watched plenty of the cartoon with Reese, but, you know, as far as the history and the different types, I really have very little knowledge of that. And I should get better at that. It's just a matter of time, you know? And I've been watching all the movies. I finally got to see Justice League, and I've seen Wonder Woman. So I'm getting caught up. Same with the Marvel movies. I think I'm all caught up now. I think I just got Ant-Man and Wasp, and that's it. I even seen Deadpool 2 now. All right, so this is a little bit wonkadoo. This actually threw me for a loop. I was telling you that I had an edit, kind of a brain fart situation, and we are kind of there. This is the beginning of it. So there's a series of things we need to do here, and I just basically forgot about this process here. So we opened this little door. There was a grid in there, not a grid, a wheel that we spun around, and it moved this box from the right side over to the left side. Now you can see there's a lot of power and like electricity going on in there. However, we do have a character that can withstand that abilities now, so we're going to go ahead and make our way in there. They also are kind of wearing a Chell-esque outfit, kind of reminiscent to the Portal games. And as it turns out, there is a portal maker in the hands of our character. I'm not sure if it's a male or a female, to be completely honest with you. Mirror Master is the name, so it's not really gender specific. And as you can see, I am totally confused on what to do here. So, yes, there's an edit coming up right now. Essentially, what happens is you need to shoot a portal onto that while in the electrical side, I guess, and then you flip it back over to the right side, and then once you get it on the right side, there should be a portal up top that you can plop out of. So, yeah, I've seriously ran around for like 10 minutes at least trying to figure that out. Couldn't figure it out, and then I found a pretty sweet edit spot that actually looked like I knew what I was doing. So, if it did look like I know what I was doing, props to my editing skills. If it didn't, then whap, 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 whap. All right, hey, guess what? There's more lightning, so we're going to go ahead and obtain all of these little floaters and eventually get a new power added to our abilities. Now, I was kind of curious as if we were going to have, like, choices to make. Like, do you want a scale ability or do you want the invisibility? You know, that made me wonder, and so far we have not run into those crossroads yet, but now, look at that, we can get oh so small and oh so big. So we are super beefcake right now, running around, making everybody look like ants, and that's funny, I was just talking about Ant-Man, wasn't I? But we need to get small or regular size and hop in here. And look at this, we've got a grate we can go ahead and stand on. And now that we can get oh so small, we can hop on there and look at that. We are out of here. We snuck up right behind Raven. Shh. Oh, to the yeah, that's right. Take that, Raven. And now, that probably wasn't my smartest move. As we got to finish off Beast Boy. He's only halfway done, So give him the old pal right in the kiss there a couple of times. And this battle seems to drag on forever. At least I felt like when I was playing it, like it just never ended. I felt like I was doing all the wrong things. I was trying to use my fire. Because, you know, fire generally does pretty good damage in boss battles, but it wasn't working. Not very well anyways. See, look, I'm only doing like a quarter damage every time I hit him, where if I did like a butt slam or, you know, some sort of cha-cha-cha, I'd usually take off a couple more. But, all right, so we're almost to the end here, and basically what happens is we get Beast Boy all dealt with, and then we get a quick, oh no, skunk blast, and then it takes us into a cutscene. So we're almost there. We're almost there, I promise. We got a half a heart left. Oh. Wait for it. Come on. Don't worry about Raven. Come on. Oh no, watch out for the kangaroo. I thought that was funny too. Remember the punching kangaroo? Oh, selfie.
The Treadmill! I found out who we're dealing with.
Going somewhere, bad guys?
Hey, aren't you those Justice Syndicate dudes?
Deathstorm, Atomica, and me, Johnny Quick, the fastest man around. Try to keep up, kids.
The Crime Syndicate? That doesn't sound friendly.
Booyaka Show! As promised, the Treadmill Turbulence Trophy achievement should be yours for completing Stars in Your Eyes Story. That's right, the free play is officially unlocked now. However, we are going to wait and complete the majority of the story and maybe a few other things before we jump into our preparing for free play situations. As you can see, we got just about to the halfway point of our stud requirement for that true villain. No mini kits, no red bricks, and no graffiti sprays found in this video, but you knew that. We told you at the beginning, and we'll come back in the free play for that, but that's obviously, like I said, a little bit down the road. We got that 1 gold brick for completing the story, as per usual, and as you may have guessed, we got a couple of characters added to our list. So let's go ahead and check them out right quick. We got Captain Cold, which is nice. Heat Wave, that's a guy I couldn't remember. Killer Frost, pretty sweet names. Mirror Master, and Reverse Flash. You know, I found that, and Beast Boy, don't forget Beast Boy, and Raven too, right? Oh, Kid Flash, whoa, I don't remember even seeing that. And Raven, there we go. You guys see any similarities? I know we're kind of like making jokes about how there's like the Justice League and the whatever they're calling themselves in this. But it's kind of funny too how like Marvel and DC kind of mirror themselves as well. But anyhow, that is going to wrap it up. LEGO DC Supervillains Level 3 Stars in Your Eyes Story. Check us out on social media. If you haven't already, go ahead and click that Thumbie Must See. And of course, we do have that trophy achievement guide and more at HappyThumbsGaming.com. As for me, that's going to do it. So as always, until next time, see ya!